Hello, dear friends. We continue our sharing with you on the science of Havis and healing. In this sharing, I especially want to talk about the healing effects of Ayat al-Kursi, its protective effects, and its effects related to safeguarding. Because many questions come on this subject from various social media platforms and internet channels. Ayat al-Kursi is the 255th verse of Surah al-Baqarah. Think of such a verse that when it descended from heaven to earth, the devils, when they saw the manifestation of this verse's divine light, looked for a place to flee, and truly, on the night this verse descended to the earth, the distress felt, speaking on their behalf. They have felt this distress with very few verses. For this reason, if it is recited with faith from the heart, look, the issue here is this. Sadly, we see that lately, unfortunately, we have begun to turn our prayers into a matter of bargaining. My Allah, I made this prayer. You give me this. I did this, you give me that. We are constantly, God forbid, in a bargaining state with Allah Almighty. Therefore, we must get rid of this and continue to recite the surahs, verses, or divine names that we will recite with true sincerity, genuineness, and from the heart, in this spirit. Dear friends, look, Muhyiddin ibn Arabi, in his work Futuhat al-Makkiyah, while explaining Ayat al-Kursi, said that within it, openly and hiddenly, there are 16 different names of Allah Almighty, and that some scholars and practiced properly. So what do we mean when we say the secret of the greatest name? We are speaking of a verse powerful enough to awaken an energy, a frequency, that will become the initiator on earth of the reality of Allah Almighty's command be. Therefore, if we can properly recognize this verse and, by Allah's permission, benefit from it properly in the areas of our lives where we need it, then we will have truly recited this verse as it deserves. Look, this verse conveys Allah Almighty's attributes of essence, power, knowledge, and sovereignty in the most comprehensive way. And especially in its opening part. Allah, there is no deity but Him. He is the ever-living, the self-subsisting. Neither drowsiness overtakes Him nor sleep. Look, especially the part at the beginning of the verse. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. Dear friends, the al-Shari value of just this part of the verse is 409. What happens when it begins to be recited regularly 409 times, dear friends? First of all, there are two divine names, Hayyul Qayyum. These are two names that convey to us Allah Almighty's aliveness, His life-giving reality, and that He keeps the system He has created under control in a certain order at all times. Therefore, in the Noble Quran as well, these two names are mentioned together in different places. With the invocation of these two names, dear friends, first of all, healing processes and illnesses begin rapidly in a person. If you want every need related to healing to be met in a beneficial way, whatever your illness may be, whatever medically needs to be done is already being done. Along with that, if the precautions that need to be taken spiritually and the things that need to be done are done properly, then a true healing process begins. This part of the verse is truly very essential in this respect. Likewise, regarding protection and safeguarding, as we have mentioned, with the regular invocation of the divine names contained in it together with their divine power and effects, we see that it strengthens the person's aura and spiritually, against every kind of negativity that may come from metaphysical dimensions. This verse has a divine light that, by Allah's permission, supports the person in being protected. Look, what happens when the aura weakens. First, we become open to the evil eye. Second, we become very open to negative effects such as being harmed by another's gaze. Third, we become open to attacks, harassment, and similar negativities that may be directed at us from metaphysical dimensions. Fourth, by making use of the tears in our aura, so to speak, we also open the door to many people around us who drain and steal our energy. Therefore, we see that with the weakening of our aura, many serious risks emerge, both negative and gene-related. For this reason, dear friends, if we make it a habit to recite Ayat al-Kursi properly, of course, we began by understanding its meaning. We entered with Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum, but then what do we say? Neither sleep nor drowsiness overtakes him. In fact, there, with each divine name, we are seeing one of Allah Almighty's names and one of His attributes, and the greatness of this verse is already revealed as our understanding increases. In the noble Quran, Allah Almighty wants us to be conscious believers who contemplate, think, reason, and take admonition. Therefore, in the science of Hafiz, we also attach great importance to this subject and always say this. We say, look, before beginning the dhikr of a surah, a verse, or a divine name, definitely, absolutely definitely, first read its meaning, and if necessary support it with tafsir. Because if you do this by becoming aware of what you are reading, and with that longing and that desire, then you will truly have done this from the heart in the real sense, and you will have provided great ease in the manifestation of the divine light of what you are reading, whether that is a surah, a verse, or a divine name. But nowadays, only formulas are being marketed to people. Look, I am against the business of marketing formulas from beginning to end, because it is not just do this. First read, reason, understand, contemplate, take admonition, take lessons, see, and in this way take proper steps on the path of becoming a conscious Muslim. Take such steps that those steps become a means for both your happiness in this world and your happiness in the hereafter. If you truly proceed in this way in the real sense, then you will gradually bring the manifestation of that surah, that verse, down upon yourself, and by Allah's permission, you will have entered beneath its covering. Therefore, as for Ayat al-Kursi, after first trying to understand it, as I said a moment ago, through the translation, tafsir, and correct sources, look what is often described among the people as the Ayat al-Kursi circle. That is, after each recitation, to the right, to the left, to the front, to the back, upward, downward, and the seventh inward, is very commonly explained. However, the numbers we will give are special numbers calculated according to the rules of Sifr in the science of Hafiz. The practices to be done with these numbers are works designed in the science of Hafiz to quickly lead us to the secrets and wisdoms of Ayat al-Kursi. Especially for protection, that is, for safeguarding. You are going to work in the morning. You are going to leave your house. You are going to school. Whatever it is you are going to, before you leave, recite calmly. Do not rush. Sit down and recite 17 Ayat al-Kursis regularly. In the mornings, the wisdom of this 17, dear friends, is that when it is recited in the morning, it is especially very effective in strengthening the person's energy field and raising the frequency of the energy flow in the body. Especially, you are about to enter an environment. In the place you are entering, there are people who envy you, are jealous of you, bear hatred and anger toward you, and have the potential to harm you, and you are worried about them. In a state of full trust and surrender to Allah Almighty, recite 21 Ayat al-Kursis before entering the place. When you finish the recitation, blow into the palms of your hands and wipe the places on your body that you can reach. That is, place yourself under divine protection. In this way, allow that divine light to cover your body, your mind, and your energy field. Then you will see that, with the manifestation of this verse's divine light, the people in that place who have the potential to harm you with the negative thoughts I just mentioned will either quickly be rid of those negative thoughts, or, being unable to withstand your strong aura, they will leave that place while continuing to hold those negative things they think against you. Therefore, without even realizing it, with this strong aura you will have distanced the people who are hostile to you and bear grudges against you. That is why you can recite Ayat al-Kursi in this way. Likewise, especially if you are having trouble with sleep at night, that is, you wake up frightened, you wake up with a start, so to speak, you cannot sleep, you keep turning around in bed constantly, or you see distressing dreams. In other words, many negativities, both energetic and metaphysical, may be a part of this. In order for you to get rid of these, there is a very special formula in which Ayat al-Kursi can be applied. Hafiz scholars such as Ahmad al-Buni have treated these in their own sources. While in a state of ablution, and if possible facing the Qibla, 70 Ayat al-Kursi. It has especially been recommended to continue this for 40 evenings. If, in this way, you continue to recite 70 Ayat al-Kursi regularly for 40 days, as you approach the 40th day you will see that along the journey you have become more relaxed, that your sleep has fallen into order, that being frightened, jolting awake, and similar states are resolved over time, and that many problems in your life begin to be solved in tranquility. And look, if during the day we especially meet many people, whether because of our job or because our educational life is continuing, the negative energies of the people we meet accumulate in our aura, and if this practice is done regularly, it also cleans every kind of negative energy accumulated in the aura from our energy field. Therefore, we can recite Ayat al-Kursi in this way. Especially if we have very special wishes that we desire to come true within the lawful sphere. Look, dear friends, our formula is this. Please do not forget this. It is a very striking special formula. I say again and again, apply it only for your wishes within the lawful sphere. First of all, after midnight, while in ablution, facing the Qibla, we recite Ayat al-Kursi 313 times in one sitting. After this, we make our supplication. By Allah's permission, this supplication of ours will always be among the supplications much closer to acceptance, and you will see. I do not like this expression very much, but I cannot think of anything else to put in its place right now. Miraculous changes will begin to happen quickly in your life. Therefore, in this way, by Allah's permission, you will also have conveyed your wishes, requests, and desires within the lawful sphere to Allah Almighty through prayers. And do not forget this, dear friends. Ayat al-Kursi is not just a word. It is a special verse that contains many divine secrets within it. If you too want to live and experience the divine secrets and wisdoms of this verse in your own life in the ways we have mentioned, you can make the practices we have given a part of your life with pure, clean intentions, and in this way, by Allah's permission, you can quickly observe the manifestations of this verse upon yourself and be blessed with these beautiful manifestations. In this video, we talked about the secrets and wisdoms of Ayat al-Kursi. If you also want videos like these, you can support us by subscribing and leaving comments and likes below this video. And in the coming period, we can also present to you in a video the topic that comes most often from your comments. Take very good care of yourselves. Hope to see you in the upcoming videos.